Hello everyone, TimeToGrind here, and today I wanted to talk about MOBAs and if it's possible to have fun playing them casually. The reason I'm even thinking about this is because recently I've gotten back into Dota 2. You know, I've been having a lot of fun playing solo ranked, and I'm not the best, but I'm getting better, and it's fun, you know, seeing myself improve and, you know, all that good stuff. And Dota 2 is arguably one of the hardest MOBAs to get into. You know, it has some of the most complex mechanics, it has the highest skill ceiling, and whether that makes it the best MOBA is, you know, your opinion. For me, I think Dota 2 is easily the best MOBA I have played, and part of that is because of how complex and how in-depth the game is. There's constantly something to learn, even for people that have 10,000 hours in the game, and I really like that about the game. And you know, obviously, you know, Dota 2 is one of the most popular, you know, MOBAs and PC games and all that good stuff, but it does have kind of a hard time attracting new players. Obviously, it does get new players, but the main thing is it just has its core audience, which is gigantic. You know, the player base is huge. It's one of the biggest, you know, constant player bases on PC gaming. And they just kind of stick around. But unlike League of Legends, that is constantly getting new players in, and it's very new player friendly, and it's very easy for a new person to jump in, Dota 2 is not. And because of that, when talking about, you know, MOBAs and playing casually in general, I'm gonna have to kind of talk about them in kind of different categories, because, you know, me talking about how fun you can have playing casually in Dota is going to be a completely different experience than trying to play just, you know, casual in League of Legends, because, you know, League of Legends is very new player friendly. That's one of the best things about it, is it is so good at getting new players in and, you know, just making them feel welcome, whereas Dota 2, you come in, there's not even a very good tutorial. It's a terrible new player experience, and you just kind of have to suffer for your first, you know, hundreds of hours, and then you start, you know, learning the game and experiencing it and fully appreciating it for what it is. And then you have games like Heroes of the Storm, which I would argue are even more casual than, you know, League of Legends, because all of your leveling is progressed through, like, as a team, so you all level up as a team. There's no items to worry about. You just have your talents and stuff like that, and it feels a lot more like, kind of like a brawler than a MOBA. But, you know, I know the term MOBA doesn't really matter, because multiplayer online battle arena, that's every single multiplayer game. But the main reason I, you know, kind of started thinking of this video is obviously, like I said, you know, I was playing Dota 2, but a while back when my friends were trying to get into Heroes the Storm, because this was at the point where none of us really played Dota 2 anymore. We had like one person that still played, but no one really played Dota 2 anymore, and for a lot of reasons. And so we started to try to play Heroes of the Storm, and you know, we all were very, very new to the game, and, you know, we have hundreds and thousands of hours collectively from Dota 2, so going to Heroes of the Storm, we're not new players to MOBAs. We perfectly understood how the game worked, and, you know, we probably had an advantage compared to other people that had similar playtime to us in Heroes of the Storm, because we had thousands of hours of gameplay in one of the hardest MOBAs to master. And so, you know, we started playing, everyone kind of started to do their thing where they find their hero that they pick just, you know, a lot. They personally like these heroes, and we started to kind of come across the problem where we have this one friend, and we wanted him to start playing the game with us, you know, because, you know, the more players the better, especially if you can get a 5-stack, that way you don't have to rely on, you know, just random players that you can't even really communicate with. And so we were like, oh yeah, you know, come play. And he was like, okay, well, you know, I'm only going to play, you know, 1 or 2 characters. I'm not going to try to, you know, counter pick or, you know, try to do team compositions. And, you know, he didn't want to have to worry about any of this stuff you normally have to worry about in MOBAs. And we're like, it's fine. We'll play casually. We're not actually taking this game serious. You know, we're just, you know, playing to have fun. And the problem was, is he proceeded to keep picking this one character, Murky. Occasionally he would pick this character, Gul'dan. But Murky, if you don't know, is pretty much, he's not a meme character. I mean, he's kind of a meme character. And I haven't played Heroes of the Storm in forever, so they could have changed a million things with him. But it's pretty much like, he can place these eggs, and then if he dies, he has, like, he doesn't really give any XP or anything to the enemy team, and he just respawns instantly in his eggs, or like after 4 seconds or something like that. And he's really good at constantly just pushing and being just a complete annoying character. But the problem is with Heroes of the Storm, there's multiple maps and multiple objectives. So some maps you might not even have to push. Pushing might not be a thing. It might be collecting these gems or getting these coins to give to a pirate so he'll fire at the towers. And so Murky a lot of the times was like one of the worst picks you could pick. And it felt like a 4v5 all the time. And eventually we would just lose like 10 games in a row. And obviously it's not only his fault. Partially his fault, you know, also us as well. But making it a 4v5 from the start was very, very painful. So we all started to kind of get annoyed, especially myself. And, you know, I was one of the people that originally told him, oh, it's fine. You know, you can pick whoever you want. We're just playing casual. We're not really caring about team compositions or anything. But it became very hard to not care about them because, you know, we would just all pick our favorite heroes. We would have someone that just picked Genji every game. We would have someone that just, you know, him would just pick Murky every game. And I was kind of trying to build around, you know, say we didn't have a support. I would kind of try to pick a support, or say I had this app that would give me counter picks. So I would pick their heroes that they had picked and try to counter them, especially if we played or we attempted to play the drafting mode, and we would just keep losing because their team composition would just always be better than ours, or it felt like it was a 4v5 or anything like that, and we just kept losing. And obviously it's not, personally, like for me in Dota 2, if I lose a game, I no longer really get mad. I don't feel bad about it. I don't feel like my time was wasted because I'm still learning new things. And, you know, even when I'm losing, I'm like, I can point to specific actions that I did that helped us lose the game. You know, I don't feel like, oh, I played the game perfectly, so there was nothing I could have done. And in Here's the Storm, every time we lost, it was just like, well, we didn't have a good team composition, and that was it. And it just wasn't fun to get stomped that many times when I knew the solution. I knew the reason we were losing was mainly because of our team compositions, and it was constantly a 4v5, or, you know, constantly the Genji wasn't doing that much because he wasn't in meta or whatever like that. And so eventually, you know, we kind of had to figure out, well, do we want to start caring about team compositions? Because if we continue just playing the way we are, we're just going to keep losing, and no one was really having fun. And we had tried to start, you know, taking the game a little more seriously. So instead of playing it super casually, we tried to take it a little more seriously. And for a couple games, we tried playing ranked and, you know, doing the drafting mode and counter picking. And then everyone just started getting very annoyed with that. They didn't want to do that because, you know, a lot of the times it turned out my friend that just always played Genji and always wanted to play Genji, he couldn't play Genji a lot because Genji a lot of the times was not the correct pick, and so he started getting sad and wasn't having fun because he couldn't play his favorite character. Obviously our one friend didn't really join us in ranked because he was just wanting to play Murky and he didn't want to have to do the team composition stuff. So we had lost some players. You know, the players that were trying it out with us weren't having fun because they couldn't just pick their favorite character. I was personally having fun, but, you know, it's not fun when everyone's miserable around you. So Here's the Storm kind of died out there for us because we couldn't play it casually, because even in the most casual MOBA, or one of the most popular casual MOBAs, your team composition matters so much because that's just the nature of Dota 2, or, you know, all of MOBAs, Dota 2, League of Legends, Here's the Storm, Smite. You know, team compositions matter immensely in all of them. And even if you're trying to play one of the more casual games in the most casual way, it's still, it matters too much. And obviously, you know, not all people are going to want to play it casually. Like me in Dota 2, I constantly am, you know, when I'm playing solo ranked, I'm trying to get good at mid, but I'm looking at their characters, I'm putting it in like an app I have to give me counter picks and stuff like that. And you know, then recently when I started getting back into Dota 2, we had a couple people get back into Dota 2, and, you know, we started just trying to play it casually, you know, because we have one friend that just spams the same character over and over, but he's pretty good at that one character, I have to say. So it's a little better, but we fell in the same exact trap, and now I'm kind of alone in playing Dota 2. Not many people play it with me anymore because in terms of trying to play the game casually, especially Dota 2, it's a lot worse than Here's the Storm, because when you get countered and you start losing because of a team composition, you're losing for like 45 minutes to an hour, and it just doesn't feel good knowing you're losing because you had such a bad start because of your team composition or stuff like that. So overall, I mean, I think there are ways you can have fun playing like MOBAs casually, especially like, say, Dota 2 with all the custom games. We have some friends that don't play Dota 2 like normally ever, but when we play this game called Tilt Panic Overthrow, which is like a team deathmatch, or just like a free-for-all, but every character is like OP. So the guy that made it's hilarious. He just buffed every character until they're OP. So the whole concept's like, well, what would it be like if every single character was OP? And then Overthrow's just like an arena, and it's just free for all, and it's a lot of fun. So we have some friends that only play that, and they just they haven't played normal Dota in years. But anytime we play that, they'll jump on and start playing. And I think, you know, that's where like MOBAs can shine casually, but I think it's very, very hard to have a lot of fun playing the base game casually, mainly because of just the way MOBAs are with team compositions and stuff like that. And, you know, if you've watched some of my older videos talking about Overwatch and stuff like that, it's one of the same reasons I, you know, kind of stopped playing Overwatch, and we stopped playing Overwatch because of the whole team composition issue. But yeah, that's pretty much what I wanted to talk about. And, you know, one of the great things about this show is, you know, not only me talking at you guys, but the conversation that comes afterwards. So, you know, if you guys have any opinion on this, if you guys have any experience with this, you guys played League of Legends and you have played the game with your friends casually for years and you found it fine, you know, let me know in the comments down below. I really like hearing your guys' experiences and stuff like that. But if you guys enjoyed this video, then consider leaving a like down below and subscribing to see more content and news. And like always, guys, I hope you guys have a great rest of the day, and see you guys next time.